this to computer. All right, so I've got this will be recorded to the computer. I'll download it and find a way to get it to you.
Perfect, 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 perfect. Um, so yeah, nonetheless, we are kicking off 2025 in fashion. I think with the addition of Chesney and the addition of another helping hand and willing heart that'll be joining us next week, Miss Bethany Henry with our after school program to kind of head that up with you, Mom. I think we're going to have a dynamic team of leaders kind of cultivating the vision. I did send out a couple of documents over the past maybe couple days, or I did send out maybe a document that's in particular long. Did anyone or did everyone have a chance to kind of glance through that after looking at the strategic vision, PowerPoint and everything that I shared over the past maybe week or two?
I have not.
Um,
Oh, no worries, no worries.
I don't know. Rich, did you, and it could just be, did you send it to the email that I sent you, or am I not on it yet?
You are not added to that email chain list yet. Mom, can you add her to the email chain list so that she can receive everything that everyone else is receiving? And
Sure.
then I'll
And so
make
this is the
sure I
email.
share the Google Doc.
This is the one
Yeah.
that goes out to the link for this meeting. Okay,
Yes,
perfect.
ma'am.
Which could you put your
Yes, ma'am.
email in? And then I'll go ahead and make sure I
I'll,
add you now. We'll send a test email before the call is up today.
perfect. I'll send it to you in chat right now.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Well, essentially in the document, I'll pull it up real quick. But I'll reference it, a few things out of it. I've split the business in two parts. Mom, obviously, you've been kind of seeing us through the vision all the way through, but I'm bringing us together now this year because I think on a weekly basis it makes sense for everyone to kind of know what everyone else is thinking and doing and have that space to just create and collaborate, together. And I think strategically now with bringing Chesney on basically as our overseer of our vision as Dean of Culture, as well as our students and curriculum for the students, I think is going to be a very, very important role for us as we begin to really roll out what our plan of action is going to be within phase one. So in phase one, where we are right now, from literally January to April, there's no programming going on. It's literally planning and it's literally raising funds and building out our digital online platform. So as far as me, saying we're going to run the after school program the way we have been running it in the fall, Mom, we're not doing that. We're
Okay.
focused on gaining more ground with right now in this particular season where God has us placed and reshaping the inside or the internal part of our culture and maybe allowing people that are wanting to get in from the external to be able to have conversations and meet with us through different webinars that we'll host on a weekly basis where we'll kind of rotate and help each other. But that way we're able to kind of bridge the divide between technology
Mm-hmm.
and meeting our students and our families where they're at. But essentially, what we've really been missing out on is that human to human interaction and connection piece, as
Mm-hmm.
opposed to like trying to implement programming. And you've got to really make sure that you're hearing from the human that you're going to be programming, if that makes sense,
Absolutely.
right?
Yeah.
And so, in slowing the process down and bringing Chesney in, my biggest challenge right now is, getting organized. And the biggest thing in getting organized for me is knowing that everyone that's in their positions understand their positions is more than willing to play their role, and go above and beyond. And Mom, you've displayed that, you've shown that, and I appreciate you. And I just want you to know that out of the gate, I really do. Matt, you've been with me for 2 years and you ain't left me yet. I'm thankful for you, like really thankful for you for putting up with me, and going through the process. And again, I'll give Chesney the space to just kind of share her vision, share who she is. I know she maybe have to jump in the next 20 minutes or so. So Ches, I'll give you about 5, maybe to 10 minutes to just kind of share a little bit, talk a little bit about some of the things that you and I have shared as far as the vision and kind of where you see things going on your end with stepping in and leading the charge in some capacities.
No, thank you. Can y'all hear me? I'm sorry. I'm like literally out of school, but I'm walking out. So you're good.
No,
I
you're
can
good.
stay on as long as you need me. I just need a charger. So I'm like, let me go get a charger.
You're good.
But no, I'm super excited and thankful and just like super blessed for this opportunity. Like Richard said, we've known each other since college. So this is like, I don't know, it's crazy how God just uses exactly, he uses people in the most mysterious ways, yes, but also it's like he uses people and like things in your life that you wouldn't even expect. Like if you would have told me I would be on this call talking to Richard about school right now, I would have like probably laughed at you. I would have definitely not believed you freshman year of Clemson. So here we are though.
They know.
But Richard knows this has like always been a passion of mine to start a school. I am an educator, so I graduated from Clemson with my undergrad in education, and then I stayed a fifth year. They had a master's program that we stayed and done a teacher residency. So I was a part of that program. So I stayed and did that for 5 years, for another year. So it's 5 years at Clemson, and then I graduated. Started teaching in the Low Country. So I was at in Berkeley County, and then I taught second and third grade, and then I became a coach. So then I trained teachers after that, and I trained teachers for 2 years, K through 5. So kindergarten through fifth grade teachers. So kind of been all over the spectrum with that. My goal and vision has always been to create a space where students all feel empowered to learn, and they know who they are because they know whose they are. So incorporating who Christ is in our curriculum is always going to be something that's important to me, which you can't do that in public schools. So that's always something that I don't want to say I struggle with because I kind of did it anyways, but being able to have the framework and the model to do that on a larger scale with this school is it going to be even more impactful and amazing. Also, I do believe in teacher burnout. I was a teacher, and I think that I talk to Richard about this all the time. But if you are teaching what you need to teach, then being in school 5, 6, 7 days every week, like that's insanity to me. So Richard was talking to me, and I have talked to him about this, but the model of doing a 4-day-a-week schedule is genius and something that I've always believed in doing. And then with us being virtual, I think we're at the most present time. I know y'all are talking about like connections and like how that'll look. I think that's a place where we can actually like be a stepping stone for a lot of other schools. Like people aren't doing this. So we can be a model for those, but also it's past COVID. And during COVID, there were so many kids online learning that parents don't see it as like a taboo thing anymore. And because of that, I think that gives us an advantage because families do want the flexibility to be able to go and take their kids on vacations or real life experiences, but also they want them to be impacted in a meaningful way as a person, like their Christianity, their faith, but also as a learner. And so I think that we're going to do a great job of like bridging both of those. I think that I can talk for probably 12 years about education, but y'all have my email, or we'll hopefully have it soon, so that you can always reach out and ask me questions. This would literally be like my dream because it's like culture, which is what I'm super passionate about. And that's what a big part of what my job was when I was a coach. And then it's also education, which is my purpose on this earth. It's like what God purposed me to do. Is teach. So that's a little bit about me. I'm sorry if it's like when y'all, I'm in New York right now. Side note, I'm in New York right now, and life is crazy in New York, and you have to like leave and do things like very efficiently because New York traffic and New York subways and trains and all the things. So
I had to leave the school that I was currently teaching at this time because I'll be stuck in traffic for 4 hours if I don't get out of
Yeah,
the car right now. But I'm still going to be on. But I
yeah,
definitely wanted to apologize for me walking through and all the things that I'm doing.
absolutely, 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 absolutely. Miss Ray, thank you for joining us. How you doing?
I'm well, and you?
I'm doing well. I just wanted to make sure I acknowledge your presence. I was told you were here, so I wanted to make sure you were in the space. And as Miss Thomas was just sharing, she's going to kind of be heading our culture and our curriculum as it relates to what we're building out. So Miss Ray, just to kind of catch you up and let you know kind of where our hearts and our minds are, we're developing out more than just the empowered teens after school model. That's kind of always been a part of the plan. Now, our plan is to develop an academy, a Christian-based academy for grades K4 through fifth grade. Essentially a co-op model, a private homeschool type of model. We're partnering with churches, nonprofits, and things of that nature. And Miss Chesney Thomas was just sharing here with us her background and what she is able to do with her skill set as well as her education to help us get these things done in an orderly fashion this year. So that's just where we were, just to kind of catch you up and what we were talking about today. Yeah. And Miss Ray, you feel free to share your background and share who you are with Miss Chesney as well. Go ahead. Feel free.
Okay, I'm Ms. Ray, and I work with uh New Foundations, which house DSS and DJJ. So I'm a direct care counselor here, and then I also work for Anderson County School District 5, and I'm currently getting a double certification from pre-K to 12 and intellectual disability. So I would be able to teach gen ed and special ed. And I graduate this upcoming December.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Miss Ray. Come on with it. Come on
That's
with it, Miss Ray.
amazing.
Come
Yes.
through. Come through, Miss.
Girl, we gonna need you.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You're a hot commodity. That's it.
Yeah. Bingo. 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 So yeah, no, now we're acquainted. The team feels right, feels good. We have a couple of folks that are out. Obviously, this is a crazy week and everybody's balancing. That's why I said if we can get this recording out to everyone, we can kind of keep it within the 20 to 25-minute structure. We'll go a little bit deeper and longer, I would say, next week, but I just wanted to get you introduced to everyone, Ches, get you the opportunity to kind of start breathing life over the vision and adding your own mix into it, as you will be heading this thing strong with me and Kayla and others. And so, just want to make you feel welcomed in this space and let you know what's going on. Matt, where you at, brother?
Right here.
Man, my man. And so, Matt, you feel free to kind of just share a little bit about, where you are in the space and kind of who you are a little bit. I'm sorry I didn't tap on you there, bro. You go ahead.
That's all good. My name is Matt Spadoni. I'm a senior up at the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh, so it's nice and cold where I'm at. I'm in supply chain, so I've been helping Richard with like booking his speakings and engagements and stuff like that. But we kind of pivoted more towards opening this school, so I'm kind of overseeing like sourcing of stuff. So just like figuring out how much it's actually going to cost to open the school, and then figuring out where we can purchase the the goods, right? Computers, desks, chairs, walls, anything we need. So yeah, if you guys have anything that pops up in terms of like what you're gonna need, ideas on like having a budget for like teachers putting out like having pencils and notebooks for students that can't afford it, or stuff like that most other schools don't necessarily do, definitely get in contact with me because I'll be able to take care of it and see what we can do.
Okay.
Absolutely. Attaboy.
Good to know, because I'll be contacting you now.
Attaboy. Matt's the guy that comes in and fix things. He's a secret ops agent. That's where we got Matt right now. He's handling business in the background, making sure everything runs effectively. And of course, Miss Latasha, our wonderful coordinator of communication, making sure everybody's on the same page and not allowing any message to go unread or to go unsent. And so we thank her for her work and obviously in interplay with marketing, and offering up her resources from that standpoint. We're thankful. And so now that we have gone around the room and everyone's gotten pretty acquainted, I would say for the next 10 minutes where I would like to focus before we shift and get ready to shut it down until next week is, I know to say that a goal of raising $2.5 million sounds like a lot, but to be honest with you, it really isn't, because when you start to break down costs and you start to look at how do we make this work, right? There are so many question marks. And how do you fill those question marks with sentences that end with a period, a statement, right? And so the way in which you do that is you collectively come together and you section off and you divide up responsibility. And so for me, my responsibility is to make sure that everybody has the capacity and the ability to do what they do without any stress, right? So as, I guess the head or the leader, those around you, you only go as far as your weakest link. And I don't see any weak links or missing links, in this group of awesome individuals that are highly accomplished and have so much to offer and could be doing something else right now at 3:23 on a Thursday. It's the second day of the year, but you're here. And I'm thankful again for everybody and their level of expertise and those who aren't even on the call that are involved in this movement and what we're doing. And so I would say, again, for our first quarter, it's identifying specific programs that are going to combat what we're going to be seeing in schools, which is the elimination of technology starting next week, right? In majority of schools, to cut back on, all of the behavioral issues and mismanagement of, this versus that. And so I think that there's an opportunity there. And correct me if I'm wrong, but next week we'll get into this a little bit deeper. But when it comes down to STEM programming, gaming, technology, all of these things, it scares a lot of people. And a lot of people say, oh, no AI, that's not a good thing. Or, those games are killing these kids. Or, they could be doing something more constructive with their time after school. Well, all of those things are true. But then that leaves a lot of question marks again, right? And so where we fill those question marks in with statements and periods is, look, I think kids should develop their own games and there should be Black inventors, scientists. So what do? We create a virtual experience online for our teens right now so that they can start to learn how to develop their own video games. We develop our own online gaming because guess what? You got to meet the kids where they are. Majority of these kids don't want to talk to adults. They don't want to talk to each other, but they will do it on a video game. I'm not kidding you. I spent 4 days with my cousin who's 14, and unless I played Fortnite with him, I was never going to communicate with him because he could sit in front of the game. He's about to be an early college student and start college as a 9th grader. But his whole thing is, if you don't come talk to me, I'm not going to talk to you. I'll talk to you on this video game. And I was like, well, this is a gifted learner. This is a very smart kid. He communicates differently. So what I'm noticing and what I'm learning is we don't actually have to have a physical space to meet with these kids and their parents. It's not that hard, right? So why make it that hard, right? In the midst of transition, in the midst of securing a building space in these next 30 to 60 to 90 days is my goal and my plan is to have us in a space by no later than June 1st and to be up and running with the school and all of our programming by no later than July. I believe that if we start together where we are with fundraising, with putting together our programs, with grabbing our resources, with putting our heads together, I think we can come up with something successful. So I just kind of wanted to share those things. I know I'm spitballing a little bit, but Do you all have any questions? Does anyone have any questions as far as vision or kind of what I'm thinking as we're moving forward to kind of get some things done? Or does anyone have any thoughts before I go too far?
I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited. Glad that you reestablished the vision. Chelsea, welcome to the team. Ray, congratulations. Like all these are game changing. So I'm excited about this whole year and look forward to continuing to support the vision. Matthew, welcome. Not Matthew, but Matthew, welcome aboard with the resources that you bring. So I'm excited. I'm excited about next week's meeting and all that good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Just trying to make your job a little bit easier, Mom. So when we tell you, hey, reach out to this person, or hey, do you mind tapping this person on the shoulder? Or when we start to host events, whether that's virtual or in person, right? And you're doing all the communications and things of that nature to kind of help push and streamline. We want to make your life and your job real easy, right? So that when you reach out to people, the answer is already yes, because of, who's behind the yes, right? And
Right.
what's and the yes. And so vision and mission are so critical for me this year. You're going to hear me overstate it, over talk about it, really, really focus on the main thing is the main thing, and that's to lead more people to Christ. At the end of the day, we can make 2.5 million and bring that in, and everybody on this call gets their cut and gets paid. But if you're really not doing this to see people's heart changed by Christ, we got a big problem. And so for me, I know how much Christ has impacted my life. That's why everything I do begins and ends with prayer. Because if I don't put God in the middle of what I'm doing, I promise you I'll mess it up. But you can't mess up God's work. And so when you bring God's children to the table, we're all trying to get just a crumb, right? Literally just a crumb of inspiration, a crumb of knowledge, a crumb of something that's going to keep us wanting to come back to the table. And I pray that I don't ever mislead you, because I know that we're all following Christ and we're all Christ followers. So I could talk radically, openly, and candidly about him, and not offend anybody. And so if I ever, misstep, or if I ever run into a situation where it's like, hey, just communicate with me. Just let me know. I'm open. I know my time and my space and capacity sometimes can have so many different things going on. But my goal this year is to be more focused and dialed in and intentional about individualized relationship building, really hearing what people are saying and are not saying, and taking that information and utilizing it for our good. That's really my goal and where my heart is as we start this year out.
Sounds good.
All right. So that's where we are. We will get officially kicked off next week. I'm communicating with some of our stakeholders in the background about some different things. And next week is also a pivotal week for us, as I'll be meeting with the largest commercial real estate developer and Anderson County Council member, John Wright, to speak for his company in exchange for potential benefits for us. So let's just pray that God will use me the very best way he knows how, so that the message can be communicated effectively and clearly, and help stretch the vision and help advance it. So you all definitely keep us in prayer, keep the vision, keep what you're hearing covered. I'm not saying don't share with people and stuff like that, but I would say for these next 30 days, let's really get to know each other and each other's hearts in the space that we're in. And just make sure that we're all on the same page before we get too far ahead of the curve, if that makes sense. So, just keep these things under wraps and in prayer, and we'll continue to allow God to unfold them week by week as we meet. So I hope I didn't take up too much of everyone's time today, but just wanted to establish a core and get a message out to everyone again that who weren't able to make it. I'm sorry if you weren't able to make it, but hopefully you'll catch this replay. You'll feel where I'm coming from. And I will make sure to send over that document again with everything in the strategic vision out to Miss Latasha. And Miss Latasha, if you don't mind sharing the strategic vision PowerPoint as well,
Okay.
if some may have not received it yet. So kind of like in this email, it's a little recap of like today's meeting. If AI caught any of it, or if it didn't, it's fine. Just share the recording. And then we'll jump back in line for next Wednesday at 3 and get everything structured and organized together. Okay,
Sounds good.
that sounds amazing. Miss Ray,
Perfect.
be ready now. We finna start doing some workshops over these next couple weeks. That's gonna revolve around talking about how do you go from an IEP to a PhD. And I need you. I need you. I need you to help co-facilitate. I need you to speak up.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna do some things. We're gonna do some things. So you and Chesney, y'all become acquainted. Y'all become friends. Miss Latasha, Chesney, Miss Thomas, y'all become acquainted. Y'all become friends. Matt, you know, need to build and grow. Okay.
All right.
And everybody,
Yes.
I'll be blessed.
You
right.
too.
Y'all have a good one.
I'm excited. Thank
too.
y'all.
You gotta sign them.